There we go. Just making sure that's working correctly. Hello, everyone. To people just joining, to people who have been waiting, and to everyone watching things back on the VOD, whether it's here on Twitch or on YouTube, depending on when you're watching this. Welcome back to stream, and welcome back to Game Dev. Hello, Flared. Hello. Now, I know that I didn't stream Game Dev last Friday. To be fair, I got busy with some bits, Destiny 2 raid bits, and it took a bit longer than I would have liked, so I skipped stream that day. But I'm back with Game Dev. Hello, hello, hello. I'm back with Game Dev again. And believe it or not, I've actually written down bits for what I want to try and get done today. Like, not just like on Clip Studio, which I normally would do that on there, but I've actually just written down like on like a little physical like on a cue card, just so I can um have the list physically in front of me rather than just constantly switching windows and whatnot, which is nice. Um anyway, I think I found a nice like video to use, which is like um this one is nostalgic. So this is one's for like a set of like hub worlds and whatnot. Um, the video is called Nostalgic Virtual Hangout Spots. So, but that's the vibe I'm going for today. Yippee! But yeah, no, honestly, can't remember how warm it was last Friday, and even then, uh, I don't want to remember. So, but yes, last time we were getting on with some more of the animations for the night. We did, like we got the idle animation, we got the like little extra idle animation done, and what I ended off with last time around was doing this raising shield animation. Now, I realized that it was okay for the most part, but before stream started, I adjusted some things. So I adjusted the positioning of the feet to make it look like they were actually staying in one spot rather than just sort of shifting forward. And also, I adjusted the position of the back foot so it looks a lot better now. And I also lowered that bone right here, the pelvis bone, just to make sure like he's leaning into the stance a lot more, and that looks a lot better. And also, at the same time, while I was doing that, I also just took the animation and reversed it. So I want to have it so that when the knight is guarding an attack, if the player just sort of like moves away from it, then they won't attack. They'll just sort of go back to like, you know, either walking around or chasing them or walking around if the player moves too far out. I also need to clean out some of the dust from my keyboard because this is good. So sorry about that. That was annoying me. But yeah, I have like for guarding, I have two sort of like transition animations. I have the one for raising the shield, and then I have this one which I just took the other one and reversed it for lowering the shield, which, it works perfectly fine. So, in terms of other animations I want to get on with, I want to try and get like a hurt animation done. I want a death animation because, to be fair, like the hurt animation and the death animation can kind of be part of like a similar sort of like class of the animations, except for, well, I'm trying to remember what I did for the player character for the rat. So let me open recent. So for rat, we've got full stomp. Okay, I don't think we actually have. Wait, I swear I did. Oh wait, no, actually, I think I remember what I did. Hold on a moment. I need to go find my project. And open it up. For some reason, it still doesn't show up in the Project Explorer in the Epic Games Launcher, which is kind of stupid. It should do. So I'm just going to go into the folder and launch the U project file from there. But yes, also, sorry to distract you. Can I share something really cool with you in Discord DMs? It is self-promo, so... No, that's fine, that's fine. Go ahead. Go ahead, Flair. because I'm aware that you like I'm aware from like looking in Dragon Server and whatnot that you've been working on a fair bit of like Blender stuff and models and whatnot as of late. So if you want to share like that stuff or stuff along those lines in DMs as well, that's perfectly fine. Hold on a moment. That's very nice. Oh, right, yeah, no, I just saw. That's very nice. Like, honestly, good luck to your partner and whatnot. I hope that goes well. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure I have something for the player for, like, them being hurt, as far as I'm aware. Unless I don't. Player... Stomp, sprint... No, I don't. I just have the player being knocked back. I don't have a hurt animation for them. I didn't make a hurt animation for the player. I thought I did. Well, that's a thing that I'm going to make sure to fix, eventually, soon, I hope. But, yeah, that was the one thing I wanted to check by going into the project. I wanted to make sure that that existed, but apparently it doesn't. So, anyway, back to the night. Because thing I want to do, I want to take, like, this bit, I want to take that, make a new animation, light, hold, guard, because this one will be relatively easy. This is literally just a case of they're sort of remaining still, but they're also sort of, like, shifting up and down, because I don't want it to be completely stiff. I want it to, at the very least, have some motion, so that it doesn't look like, oh, we've just frozen an animation and just said, oh, hey, we're calling it a day, we're just doing another animation here, when it really isn't much. So, I'll take this, location, rotation, and scale, as per usual. I kind of want it to be like, because it's currently set to 20 frames. I will probably play with, like, the number of times I have this be adjusted. So I'm going to move it out slightly at the very least. So... Right, and then I need to adjust this, rotate along the X. Hello, Heater, you came in at a very good fucking time! I don't know if you can hear it. I'll turn it up, hold on. That's why. Because Delpino literally just came on. Hello. Yeah, no, in terms of, like, adjusting the feet and whatnot, I mean, aside from rotating this one ever so slightly, because that's tilted to the side a little bit, no. Rotate it along its, like, personal Y. Okay, actually. Ever so slightly more. Your entrance music. Yes. Somehow knew that you were going to be here right at this moment. But there we go. But that's looking fine. So, all I really need to do... wait, actually, hold on. Before I do anything else, let me see... As I said before, I want to test, like, so if I do it, like, 10 frames, then it goes back up, like, 10 more frames, and then there. So I think, I mean, I know it doesn't matter anyway, because it all depends on, like, what I have it set to when I export the animations, but I do want to, like, sort of, like, be able to play it normally first. So I'm going to take this, copy, paste, and then take this one, copy, and then at frame 30, we paste. And now I'm going to change that to 30 frames, so I'll end on 30 frames. Wait, hold on. So starts up there and then goes down. Goes down, goes up, goes down. Oh wait, and then it would need to actually end on 40 frames if I was doing the timing like this. And then I would just take this, copy once again, right click, paste. But then again, this might be a bit too quick. So if I look at this like so. Let me think. It's looking fine so far. So, okay, now that I think about it, I think that'll actually work. I will just have, like, in the engine, I'll have a thing that keeps track of how many times that animation loops. Kind of like how I have it with the player, where it keeps track of how many... kind of like how with the player's idle animation, we have the animation event, that basically keeps track of how many times the idle animation loops before it plays, like, the extra little bit where the rat taps his foot. So I think I'll do that, and then I'll use that to, like, basically say, yeah, once it's looped this number of times, then the enemy will stop guarding, if the player is not near them. But yeah, no, it's all logistical stuff that will work out in the end. So, no shield, hold guard. So I've done 2 little animations, though to be fair, the lower shield one was just an easy job. So now, in terms of the actual attack animation itself, because that's one I haven't worked out yet, chat. That's one I haven't done yet. So I'm trying to think. I need to visualize this as best as I possibly can. So if I go, like, I'm just imagine that, for the sake of argument, so they're guarding. I don't know if I want them to sort of take a step forward with the other foot and raise, like, sort of slash the sword up, or if I want them to sort of try and sort of swing it from the right side, or if I want them to spin around the other way. Because the thing I need to consider is how long, like, depending on what option I choose for this attack, the thing I need to consider is how long it will actually take to animate this, and how difficult it will be. I mean, I know we're only like 13 minutes in, so, you know, plenty of time if I choose one and it takes a bit of time, but at the same time, it's like, I do want to be able to try and get all the other ones done too. And then again, it may be better if I focus on the other animations that won't take too long first, and then sort of think about these ideas later down the line, or just sort of keep those bouncing around in my head for the time being. So I might push the attack animation back a little bit. I might do that while I focus on the other stuff that's on my list. So, I think that's what I'll do. I will put the attack animation on a slight back burner for now. I will get that done later on in the stream if possible. If I don't forget about it. Yes. So there's also a thing that I feel like I do need to consider as well, with regards to how I have the animation blueprints set up in the project. Let me just hop back over here for a moment. And I can tell this is the original version of Colony 9 theme from the Wii version of Xenoblade Chronicles 1. This isn't the definitive edition, because there isn't, like, in some areas of the song, like the little piano sort of stings. Anyway, my brain. Oh, good lord, it's still warm in my room, despite, you know, it being 19 degrees. But, you know, 19's still fairly warm anyway, so that's just normal. I should probably turn my fan on as well, so I'm not just completely dying. Hold on a moment, chat. Gonna turn my fan, gonna turn it on. Just it's exactly blowing air the right way. Ha! Right. Perfect. Anyway, so if we remember from last time, probably in the public area. Character base. Dialogue, animation. Yeah, so for the player, we have the player anim instance. And from that, in the engine, it's with the actual blueprints. So with Go Player, this animation blueprint inherits from the anim instance class. And because of that, we can access all the variables and whatnot that are in that class and use it to drive the animations for the player. Now, the thing that I was trying to do, or trying to think about either last time around or the time before that, I can't remember. It's been a while. Is how I would have things set up with the enemy, like, anim instances. If I would have, like, just a single one with some common values and then sort of try and drive things on individual animation blueprints, or if I would have, like, a common one and then an aerial enemy and a ground enemy anim instance that sort of, like, respective sort of types of enemies would inherit from for their animation blueprints, and then sort of based on which ones I'm working on, sort of adjust things based on that. I'm not 100% sure. Now I explain it out loud, I feel like that could actually work. I was just so confused and there was so much going on in my, like, so many thoughts rushing around in my head. Also, apparently there's a discrepancy between the temperature on my phone and the temperature on my PC in terms of, like, how warm it is at the moment. Because at the moment, my PC says it's 18 degrees Celsius. But on my phone, it says it's 19 degrees Celsius. So which one's correct? Which one's correct? Check the BBC website to be sure. What's another one of those with fluff things. One of those flew into my room, unless it's the same one that flew into my room earlier. Get back here! Okay, I'm actually getting distracted by a flying fucking ball of fluff. Anyway, so this is for later down the line. I got it. Oh, Splatoon. Anyway, as I was saying, later down the line, I'll figure things out with that. Now for this. So, for working on, like, any hurt animation, I'm probably going to go back to having the A-frame, or A-frame, A-pose, it's kind of already halfway there. It's kind of halfway there in terms of, like, how I want things to look when they get hurt. So... I'm trying to think. Brain? Brain. Right, there we go. New... Night... Hurt... Right. Location, rotation, and scale. Now, the obvious one would be to just have it, like, raise their hands. But the thing is, I don't want it to just be a static, like, "Whoa!" Like, it's just raising its hands as soon as it gets hit. I want it to have, like, some kind of, like, recoil from being hit. So it's like a... So it, like, kind of, like, sways back and sways forward with its body and its arms. So that's the kind of thing that I'm thinking of. So... Also, it's actually kind of crazy. I don't know how I'm able to get so many of my thoughts out at the moment. It's... Normally my brain is an absolute mess. So, it's kind of a miracle. I don't know if it's because I've started drinking, like, chamomile tea, to try and sort of keep my brain a little bit, on the calmer side, rather than just, it running away with itself all the time. I've started doing that as of late. So I was thinking, well, what tea would be good for this? And apparently, you know, chamomile's pretty good. Like, normally it's used for sleep and whatnot, for trying to sort of calm yourself down as you're trying to get to sleep. But it could also apparently work wonders as trying to sort of, like, slow things down and chill and all that jazz. So, even though I've only had, like, 1 cup earlier today, but I guess maybe, you know, like, a cup every now and then is enough to help. So... Anyway, enough of my rambling. So, I'm trying to think. So, when it's hit... So, of course, I want the enemy's legs to be raised up a little bit as they're being launched. So... Trying to think of the ideal way to do this. Trying to think. Right, I need to visualize it again. Hold on. Right, just a moment. So, if I get hit, and I'm like, it's kind of difficult to visualize this now that I think about it, because it's like, then again, I guess the easiest way to try and visualize this is if I launch myself onto my bed, if that makes sense. Because at the very least, if I'm launching myself and landing on my bed, it's a soft, cushiony thing to land on. So I'm trying to think. So in terms of like, because of course we have the foot inverse kinematics, but then we also have the leg target. So let me think. So if I move this to the right, and then I move this forward a bit. To be fair, like, this can kind of work, but then I believe I'd have to adjust the target so I can, yeah, so I can rotate it like that. And then, maybe adjust this a little more? And then adjust this on the Z? No, right, that doesn't work. Let's see. So just along the Y, that rotates it. Just along the Z, that also rotates it to a lesser degree. I just want it to be able to bend. It's making me think. Now, if only I had, like, an animation where, like, an enemy is just sort of, like, teetering on an edge. That would be brilliant. But, sadly, no. It's trying to figure out the logistics of how do I... Right, let's adjust this on the Z. I can at the very least get it to move the legs up that high, which is good, but... That's kind of close, but let me move on the X and see. No, that doesn't work. GX. Alright, that's actually kind of what I want. So, the only way I'm going to be able to extrapolate what adjustments I'd need to make for the other leg is if I do location, rotation, and scale, copy, paste flipped, so I can get the specifics for this side. If I can actually see what I did! And I will take a picture of what I did, what has happened for this side. Because the good thing is that I haven't adjusted, like, rotation or at all. It's mostly through, like, moving the position along the different axes. So... Okay. Now that I think about it, if I was making, like, a goofy fucking run animation... Oh, thank you, Flared. I make myself laugh. I don't know why. It's like, they dance, so they must have a mission passed. It's like, ding, 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 ding. I'm having too much fun with this. But you know, that's the good thing. Having fun is the good thing. I'm just gonna keep this as a this thing as a misc silly. So if I ever wanted to sort of like expand on it for whatever reason, then I can for like either a post or anything like that. But yeah, I will keep that. And now that I've got what I need, I will get rid of that keyframe. And then I will take the values that I found for... I'm pretty sure this is it. So... 1.45... minus 1.9874. Oh, wait, that's a slash, not a point. $1.5985. Okay, now the fucking idea of, like, doing the Sonic Adventure pose has popped into my head for this. I need to stop thinking. I need to stop thinking. This is 0.008062. And then this is 1.9107. There we go. Just a moment. There we go. Right. So they rock backwards and then they rock forwards. So I thought I got rid of that keyframe. Yeah, I got rid of it. So now I'm thinking. So they rock back, then they rock forward. So it depends on how I adjust this. So let's adjust the target. Okay, to be fair, the arm target is mainly just like adjusting the rotation slightly, so it's not really Whoops. Sorry. It's such a... I'm so childish, I'm sorry. Not very appropriate, but... So I'm visualizing it a little bit more. So if they're like already sort of flying back, but it's like they rotate, they sort of tilt backwards, their arms tilt outwards, and then they... I mean, like the part where they sort of tilt, like they return to their initial position may not be needed, but at the very least, thinking about how it should look, or at the very least, how I think it should look, I should probably tilt this... Okay, that looks more like he's in the position of being launched. That's better. So... So, do this. I don't think I need so many frames for this one, but I'll drag this out anyway. And this was the bone that I rotated along the spine, so... Ha! Right. I keep getting silly. That's my problem. I keep getting silly. But sometimes it's good to be silly when you're doing this stuff. So that's sorted. Next, I need to adjust the arms. So... long... Ooh, wait, actually, now that I think about it. Okay, I actually have a better idea. Because now that I think about it, my idea for, like, you know, them returning to their start position can be used for the death animation. When they land. Wait, this sounds familiar. It's fucking Yakuza 4! I knew it! It's this song! This song that I'm pretty sure just plays once in the entire game. I remember now. I'm fairly sure that this one song from Yakuza 4 only plays once in the entire game. I gotta dip, but this has been good lurking. Hope rest of the stream goes well. Thank you very much, Flair. Have a good rest of your night. But yeah, no, this song fucks so hard, but it's sad that it only plays, like, I'm pretty sure that one time. Yeah, I needed to adjust that a little bit. Right, so... Bro! Okay, I keep finding silly things to do with, like, with moving the poses back and forward. I'm sorry, chat. So... Well, that looks okay. I feel like there should be a bit more of a transition. Had to think for a moment. I'll leave it as is, because otherwise I'm going to keep racking my brain over stuff. And then I feel like I won't get anything done. So I'm gonna leave it as it is for now. So we've done her animation, which is good. And then I need to work on the death animation, which, to be fair, would probably involve, like... Right. New... Night... Yeah. Right. So... Do. So I would have to have it... Oh. Brain. So this will start as it has, but then just to test something out, I will try moving this down. Of course it inverts his fucking legs! Of course, that's when I'm not, like, including this. So... let's try selecting all of these. And then... But I am gonna have to move... Right. So need to adjust the both the IK and the target for the the left and the right legs. So I'm going to take these. I'm going to see what happens if I... Okay, so exactly what happened the last time, but a bit better. So I'm going to... No, that's not what I meant to do. Okay, so this is looking okay so far. A bit awkward, but it's looking okay. I've never done an animation of a character sitting down or landing on their butt or anything like that, so this is kind of new to me. But this is working. I will say, this is working, and I'm pretty happy with it. So rotate on the X. Oh, no. Oh, that's not what I meant. Oh wait, no, that's why. It's these ones. It's the bloody IKs that need retargeting, readjusting. Wee! Wee! Oh gosh. Sorry, chat. So I'll say on this frame, I slightly... That's the root. The thing I need is the pelvis. And then I need the IK and the fucking... I need all the IKs and targets and stuff again. Honestly, this took a bit of doing, but... Location, rotation, and scale. And then I'm going to take this frame, copy it, paste it. So 1, 2, and then I'll repeat this, I'll loop it one more time. Wait, did I do it? Yeah, I got the right one. I grabbed the right frame. Copy. Paste. Okay, that moves a bit too quickly for my liking. Right, I think I'll have an 8 frame gap. So instead of like 5, 7, 8, 5, 8, and then 5, 8, which ends on frame 42. And the reason why this is being classed as a death animation is because when this animation ends, the enemy will just die. They will just poof in the smoke. Right. So, death animation's done. So, in terms of the animations I wanted to get done today, so I've done the hold guard, I've done lower the shield, which, you know, as I already said, I did that off stream. We've done the hurt animation, and now we've done the death animation, which is good. So, sorry. But yeah, no. We've done hurt, we've done death, we've done hold guard, we've done lower shield. So we've gotten 4 out of the 6 animations that I had needed to do for this character done, and I'm bloody happy about that. I did, yeah, I indeed did give a set by Luigi's Mansion. It's just that song's funny to like do like the anyway, so and then when that animation ends, they die. So the next thing that I need to do, I need an actual run animation. We don't have, like, we've got the walk animation, which, where is you? You is here. Which, if we remember from last time, I was pretty happy with the result of this. Because even though I didn't, like, do absolutely every frame, it somehow turned out that this rhythm for this animation was perfect. So, if I just remind you of what this one looked like, it works perfectly as like a little march. It worked perfectly for like a sort of stoic kind of march, which I'm pretty happy with. So, now, the thing I need to think about is how it would look when the knight is running. So I don't know if, like, it would still be a case of, like, of course it would be faster. They would probably have their shield and sword raised a little higher, now that I think about it. So it would be, I'm trying to think, just to sort of envision it. Or I say envision it, more like act it out. And now I'm remembering, like, the more that I do this, I'm now remembering more and more that I do enjoy acting out how I feel like the animations should look. It's fun to do that. Also, it's just a little bit of physical activity in my room late at night, so... so, thinking about how it would look... so it'd be like... Okay, I think I have it. I think I have it. Of course, I have to think about how, so... Oh, ow, fuck. Ow. That's my knee. But I'm fine. So... Okay. Also, I feel like ads should have started. It might have done, and I wasn't keeping an eye on it. They will now. Yeah. So if I wasn't keeping an eye on it, it was a bit... Yeah, no, they've started now. I'll be back in a few minutes. So hang on tight. Right, we're back. Okay, so I think I've got it. So thinking about like because just thinking about like I feel like I should externalize this knowledge too. So for walk / run cycles. The important thing to note is like first frame. Like, the first frame of, like, these animations have to be the contact frame, in my opinion. Well, I say in my opinion, it's what I've learned, actually, now that I think about it. But having it be the contact frame is a must. So... Oh, 24, right. Anyway, get rid of this. New night run. Do the thing. Location, rotation, and scale. So, because I'm kind of borrowing this one frame from the the walk animation, but I am going to make the adjustments to make it a bit more appropriate for my purposes here. So... Oh yeah, that video's ended. I wonder what they've got for, like, because this channel has, like, a whole bunch of, like, videos of, like, a fine selection of this type of music, or this type of music from these games and whatnot, and one of them is, like, music to stroll to, and another one is, like, city builder management in-game music. I want to do this one just because. Right. So, to be fair, this is fairly chilled. So, anyway, I need to bring the sword and the shield up a lot more. I say a lot more, just a little bit more. Oh wait, actually, then I should also rotate this along the Y. Yes. Just so it's not, like, smack bang right against the helmet. So... So, looking at this... So, of course, I'm going to take this, copy this... Except I don't want... Right, so I'm going to take this... Take this... And then take this from this frame, copy, paste, and then I need to take the rotations from the hands. Copy, and then paste. just to keep it consistent. At the very least in terms of the position. So me when I'm rubbing my feet along the carpet to give people electric shock. So I'm gonna go to the rat, look at. So I got run. So step down, then move the feet, just to refresh my memory. So I also need to note this down, like, I have been noting it down on, like, a cue card, but I need to actually doodle it down so I can have a visualization of what it will look like. So, just a moment, I'm doodling a thing down. Because at the very least, if I note this down in some way, shape, or form, then I will be able to refer back to it and not have to constantly refer back between it, like, files. And then next one. Yes. And then the next one is the opposite. So repeat. Okay, so I at the very least have that noted down. I don't want to save that. Oh, that's not what I meant. GZ. Oh, I meant to do that on the Z-axis. Along the X. Though I may actually need, like, an extra little bit in between. So, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. That goes in frame 16. And then 12 we've got right here. But then G, Z. So if I look at this, move this forward ever so slightly. Oh wait, that's on the wrong frame. Whoops. Don't know if that's whether it will... that's wrong. I meant to put that at 32. Copy, location, rotation, and scale. Frame 8, copy. Paste flipped. Something's up. I'm trying to think. Maybe it's the timing, maybe it's... Maybe there's a lack of movement. Also, based on how long it's going to take for me to sort of, like, sort this run animation, I don't think I'll be able to get the attack animation done this stream. I'm going to level with you right now, but, right. Okay. I'm gonna have to look back at the rat. Sprint. Okay, that's why, because so it was 1 frame, 2 frame, 3 frame, 4 frame, 5 frame, 6 frame, 7. And also, it was the lack of it. Right. I am now remembering how to do it. At the very least, that was for the sprint, but still, that's kind of applies. I need to adjust the timings and also, like... So instead of, like, a 4-frame gap, maybe a 2-frame gap. Right, rotate along the X. So that... So 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3. Yep. Copy. Paste flipped. Right, so let's see how it looks now. Or maybe, actually, it's not that, but it needs to hang for a few frames. And so it's like... I think that's the problem. That actually might be the problem now that I think about it. If I drag this out, copy this... Paste this. Itch. So delete keyframe there, because I want to adjust this one a bit more. Oh, wee! It probably doesn't help that this, like... Copy... Paste... I may need 20 frames. So... Just making notes again. Right, so... Right, I need to think. Let me think. So, in terms of, like... It would be, like... It has to be, like... Has to be brought forward as it's being raised up. So... Oh, whoops. What am I doing wrong? So... There's something I'm missing here. It needs to do with... Ugh. Ow. It might be to do with how the back foot is positioned too. So... Let me think. So... At the moment, the back foot... Yeah, no. So it would be a matter of bring it forward a little more, bring it up on the Z. So after the contact frame, so it's 1, 2, so 2 keyframes after the contact. What do you think? It's gonna take a while. It's gonna take a while to get this right. After the contact, it's 1, 2, 3 keyframes after. Ah. I feel like I'm just getting this wrong. Maybe the contact frame needs to be a bit different too. Okay, maybe I don't actually need to have the duplicate frames, now that I think about it. Let me delete this keyframe and see. Copy. So that's that one, so 1, 2. Right, so the first frame after the contact. My brain. Why is this duplicated? Trying to think. It's getting there, but I feel like there's something missing. can't quite put my finger on what it is, and I feel like I need to have a think about it. Oh. Right, so if I feel like I definitely need to adjust, like, how this looks. So if I take this, go adjust it a bit more so there's a bit more of a, like, a dip in terms of the landing. Copy. Paste flipped. So the difference being is that, so So 3 frames after the contact frame. That's why. It's because I hadn't... Right, I think I'll... gosh, my brain. I think I'm going to leave it there for the time being. We got plenty done. I'm sad that I didn't get the attack animation done, but I can reserve that for next stream, and I can also reserve, like, getting on with the animation blueprint bits, either for next stream, or I can do that in the background at some point. But, yes, to everyone who showed up, and to everyone watching things back on the VOD, whether it's here on Twitch or on YouTube, depending on when you're watching this, thank you ever so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Next stream should be on Wednesday. We'll be continuing Fallout New Vegas. However, if I do decide to do something else, depending on how I feel, I'll probably post about it in the Discord. But yes, thank you ever so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And as always, I will see you all again